Hi, this is David Gross with Condi Systems.
Jimmy Lamb with Sawgrass.
This is Lon Winters with Graphic Elephants.
Dave Garrick with Atlas Screen Supply.
And you're listening to the Two Regular Guys
Podcast.
hosted by Terry Combs and Aaron Montgomery.
Two of my best friends when they're buying me dinner.
Jimmy always has something to say.
Jimmy.
Well, welcome to the show, everyone. It's Friday, November 9th, 2018. I'm Terry Combs with Equipment Zone, and you can also find me at terrycombs.com.
And my name's Aaron Montgomery, and you can find me at aaronmontgomery.info. Today, we'll be discussing e-commerce with a very successful online entrepreneur, Alison Prince. So I am super excited about getting her in here to share some of her secrets with us. And we're going to get some secret sauce. It's going to be awesome. So, but before we do that, Terry, we've got a couple of shout outs. You ran into some folks along your travels there.
I did. I just got back from LA yesterday, but last week I was in Charlotte at the MBM show, last trade show of the year, and I ran into Lenore Lewis with Embroider This. She's in Aiken, South Carolina, friend of the show, and she's probably listening right now. She came by the Equipment Zone fire truck. Which is the new display that we've been using, and to say hello. And Lenore, I apologize. I was online and I was doing some emails and actually sent you thanks for stopping by our Equipment Zone fire truck in Charlotte and my sales pitch, and then I immediately followed by, I skipped down a line. Sorry, I know that you are not in the market for a direct-to-garment printer. I'm just doing 5 things at once.
All right. Well, speaking of 5 things, Terry, you are going to be sharing 5 things at the end of the show today, and I'm looking forward to hearing about this. 5 things that can impact your screen printing business when the weather changes. And as we were talking with Allison before the show started, the weather has changed here in St. Louis. It's freaking cold. And we got a little snow for the first time. So we're hoping to keep that snow staying away. It's not snowing in Scottsdale yet, Terry?
It is not. In fact, I have my sliding door open here right next to me. And but really what made me think about this topic was the fact that I'm leaving this afternoon for Chicago to teach a screen printing class at Atlas Screen Supply, and I understand there's a little snow on the ground there as well. So I started thinking about, weather does impact what we do in our businesses. So just 5 things that are going to impact. But hey, we want to thank everybody for listening. We are so pleased to bring you this weekly show since February 2013. And Aaron, as you know, we always try to avoid those rants and selling anything like that. We would love to have your input on show ideas or anything like that. You can find our website at 2regularguys.com. And please go there, and you can contact us through our Contact Us page or through social media. We're everywhere at 2 Regular Guys. And hey, if you're catching this live video via Facebook Live, we would love to have your comments, insights, questions, and suggestions, and be a part of the show today.
Yeah, definitely. And speaking of that, we've got some people checking in already. We've got our show producer, Eric Campbell, joining us. Appreciate him helping us get all this stuff rolling all the time. And Jeanette is giving us some kudos there. And we've got Rich joining us this morning. Good morning, Rich. Thanks for joining us again. Good to see you. And so, again, looking forward to all the feedback and comments and questions and just being a part of this fun show and community. Terry, before we get any further along, though, I do want to, here we go. We got another one, Adam. And last time I tried to get to everybody and I missed a few people. So Adam, good morning.
You're playing someone to catch up.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, Terry, I wanted to I'm going to pop this up on the screen here and put that in there because we want to remind everybody that ThreadX 2019 is coming up just around the corner. It's Yes, 2019 is almost here. So Terry and I are going to be in attendance, and we're pretty darn excited about it. Ricardo Crispo is going to be the MC at the upcoming ThreadX 19, and that is happening February 17th through the 19th in San Diego, California. So we were just talking about snow. No better place to be in February than San Diego, California. You want to also then check out the amazing speakers they're going to have. Ricardo Crispo, who I already mentioned is the MC, just a dynamic speaker and a true marketing mind, kind of CMO for Mattel, worked with Serena Williams. I mean, his list goes on and on. So really worth checking out. Benny Gold, who's a San Francisco-based streetwear brand and boutique. And then their keynote speaker, Aaron Draplin, who is a design wizard. So if you register early enough for that event, and again, over at the website here, threadxconference.com, if you register early enough, you can even register for a hands-on workshop with Aaron Draplin. So we are excited to see you all there. Make sure that you told them that the two regular guys sent you to check out threadxconference.com.
Yeah, we had Aaron. You and I have had the privilege of listening to Ricardo a couple of times speaking, and he is dynamic. And you're going to be scribbling a lot of notes to take home and use in your business and your personal life. So, and all the speakers last year were dynamic. It was certainly an event that life-changing event, and I think it'll be the same this year as well.
Yeah. I still think you're the same great guy, Terry. I don't think it changed you that much, but
well, thanks, Aaron. You as well.
Compliments today. That's positive. That's what I'm going for. All right. Well, Terry, shall we welcome our guest in here and get this going? She's actually got to jump off to another event, so I don't want to take up too much of her time today. But you ready to bring her in, Terry?
Let's do it. We're going to welcome in Alison J Prince, and she has built 4 successful multi-million-dollar online businesses. She's been featured in Forbes, Costco Connection, and spoken on the stage of Funnel Hacking Live, but she feels her most successful business choice was teaching her 10 and 13-year-olds how to sell over $100,000 in 9 months and watching them crush the online space. Nice. So, Alison, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm loving the information there. So your girls sold over $100,000 when they were 10 and 13. So I guess my first question is how, and they were in school to boot, I'm assuming. So give us some feedback there, how that happened.
So that's why I think I'm so passionate about e-commerce is they were in junior high and had a preteens, right? They're going with their friends, they're in church activities, they're all over the place. And what system could keep us more consistent than selling online? They don't have to show up at a brick and mortar place. They couldn't, right? They're underage in the first place. Nobody can hire them. And then they're exhausted. They want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. And they want to sleep in on Saturdays. And so I had built e-commerce businesses and I had learned the process and the systems. And so there was a weekend where my husband and I were like, man, they're just sleeping in too much. We need to get them going up and doing a little bit more. So we actually gave them 3 options. We said, you can build a business, you can do more chores, or you need to move out. And of course, they were like, move out, what? My 10-year-old was just learning how to use deodorant, so there was no way. I think my 13-year-old thought about it for a second.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if my kids would have chose option 3 or not, but hard to say.
So they decided to start a business. Now, a lot of people are like, well, Allison, you probably just did it for them. I didn't, because I was running 2 other multi-million-dollar businesses. Like I literally did not have the time to hold their hand. And so there's like setting things online creates a system and allows for that consistency to happen. And so they went out, they found a product, and I can show you or tell you how to find the best products out there right now. And they chose their product, they launched it, and within 9 months, they had sold their first 6 figures. And it wasn't so much the money that was the cool part. It was actually watching that transformation in them become more confident in themselves. Wow. And believe in themselves. And now as they're 14 and 17 now, they're not making their choices based on finances. They know they can get the money. So if they want to go serve in a third world country for a year, they know how to get the money to be able to afford the plane ticket over there, right? And we joke about my little guys growing up. One of them wants to be a world-class magician, and they're going to be able to know how to make money to live their dreams and not say, I really need to be a doctor so that I don't like that stuff, but to be able to make money, I need to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. It's opening up their eyes to help them see that they've got options. And I think that was the biggest impact as a parent. And so I kind of switched my direction a little bit into teaching more people how to do this, because if a 10 and 13-year-old can knock this out of the park, like others can totally crush this. And so that was kind of the journey of how this whole thing got started, teaching them, watching them. And then now I talk e-commerce 24/7 and I love it.
That's awesome. Well, Allison, you sound like the world-class magician to me, but so tell us this, how do you and your girls come up with ideas of products that you want to sell online?
So that's like the number one question people ask me. They're like, Allison, I want to sell online, but I don't know what to sell. And I think what we do, especially with Shark Tank, you guys know Shark Tank, right?
Sure.
Of course.
Sure.
Our brains automatically go complex. Okay, I need to find something that's never been sold, so there's no competition. I need to find something that I can trademark. I need to find something that is super original, where that's all a lie. Watch Shark Tank and find out how many people have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars coming up with original ideas. You don't have to come up with a Shark Tank idea. You literally just sell what's selling. So my girls, they were watching some sites to see what were popular items, and they noticed that scarves were selling, just like a winter scarf, and then like a spring scarf. And so they were kind of watching that. And
I have no idea what you're talking about, by the way.
Yes.
Living in Scottsdale, Arizona.
And so they decided to sell scarves. And how many billions of scarves have ever been sold? Like so many of them. So they weren't trying to get trademarks. They're trying to come up with a new product idea or working with lawyers to get patents on it. They were just selling what was selling, and they provided it to the audience. Now, the cool thing is in the winter, they posed it as a winter scarf. And then the summer, they took it and they would tie these scarves around their waist at the swimming pool. So Arizona people bought because they posed it as a swimsuit cover up. And so anyway, that's how they did it and that's the biggest key to success is you sell what people are buying. And I've done it it's been, oh my goodness, I'm going to date myself. I've been doing e-commerce for a decade now. And by putting things in front of people that they're wanting, it makes a super easy sell.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, Terry's been in screen printing for several decades. Yeah. So you're fine. You're in good company. I've been in the I've been in this industry for 20 years myself. So you're the spring chicken here. All right. All right. Well, Allison, I'm curious. I read through your blog and enjoyed following what you've got going on over there. And one of the things that really stood out is you have a great blog that tells us some things that you love to sell and some things that you think maybe staying away from is a good idea based on your experience. So maybe you can kind of share a couple tips, and then we'll get people over to that blog to check that out for the rest of it.
Yeah. So I've made all the mistakes in the book, right? After you do this for so long, you're like, man, I could just produce a whole book that says, do not do this. And it would be #1 bestseller, right? The thing that I found, and I actually have, do you want me to grab it? It's just right around. You okay?
Absolutely. Yeah, we'd love to see that for sure. For those of you checking out the podcast, the audio version of this, you definitely are going to have to swing over to facebook.com/2regularguys so you can actually see the show and tell as well. So, Allison, we're ready for you.
Here's the show and tell. So these were trending, and I was super excited about them. And we brought them in, and it is a lantern with glass panes in it.
Very cool.
I mean, it's beautiful, right?
Yeah,
right. On like Magnolia Farms, like you see them, Home Depot, you see them trending everywhere. So we got them in, really excited about them. Our customers ate them up, bought them, loved them. We shipped them to our customers, and the glass was all shattered.
Oh, no. Oh boy.
Good job packing them. But when the delivery men chuck packages, like, there's no way glass is going to last, right?
Yeah.
Now, I know there's some glass companies that have perfected this, but for me, learning how to perfect shipping glass, I was like, I don't want to do that.
No.
Like, that's just too complicated. So number one thing is don't ship glass. I think that's
There we go.
horrible. Especially super thin glass. Like, just don't go there. Don't go there. And then the stuff that I love to ship. So this is, I'm just leaning down. This is called Baker's Twine. And it's cute, right?
Yeah.
You're like, whatever.
I can see my wife loving it. So that's what.
Yeah, you've got brown paper packages tied up with string. And then if you go over to Pinterest, there's like 20 bajillion things you can do with twine. Now, the beautiful thing about twine is I actually ran over this roll with a car in its package and it didn't destroy it. It's still functional, right? And so my favorite things are stuff that can still get, like, you can ship it and it can still get destroyed that your customers can use. Because once it leaves your house, once it leaves your hands, your warehouse, wherever it is, and it gets into your customers, like, you don't have a lot of control over it. But what you do have is control of when they open that package. You want your customers to feel like it came from grandma. If it's a little bit squished, they're like, oh, that's okay. It's still clean. It's still good. But if they get broken glass, they're going to be like, ah! And so, yeah, I'm very animated, as you can tell.
We love it.
Things that can get squished, I love to ship. And then another thing that did really well for us is this is washi tape. And it's like glittery tape. See if I can find the end of it.
There you go.
And then you just stick it on stuff. You stick it on like envelopes or like if you were doing a bake sale at the local elementary, whatever, you could wrap this around a cupcake liner just to give it a little extra pop. We're so busy, but we still want to, as with me being a mom, I don't want my products to look gross or not professional. I want the fastest way to make my products look amazing. And so throwing on a little bit of washi tape, little gold washi tape, it takes them to a whole new level. Anyway, so this was one of our big sellers too. And it was tiny. It's so easy to ship this versus this monster.
Yeah. Lantern, right?
Yeah.
And then another thing is one size fits all. I love one size fits all because then you don't have to worry about as many as returns. Oh, that small didn't fit. I need a large. Your size runs small. So those are my favorite things: is one size fits all, small, and squishable.
Nice. All right, good stuff. Yeah. In fact, Eric Campbell mentioned mug sublimators feel the pain, as you know.
I don't do mugs for a reason. Like those that do, and every time I order one, I'm just like, whoa, I'm so grateful for you.
Yeah, you made it.
Aaron, that must be why you sent me a metal mug for Christmas last year.
Yes, it is.
I guess it could have been dented, but well, Allison, most of our listeners are garment decorators, product decorators, so most of their products are squishable. But
yes.
How would you approach the marketplace with the types of products that our customers are selling, our listeners are selling?
Well, I actually do have a sublimation business, so I'm in this space too with you guys, and I love it. Like, I have so much fun doing it. And one thing that I found throughout every single business that I've done, I actually don't run Facebook ads for my e-commerce stuff, which I know is kind of crazy, right? I use influencers. And when I can get my product with an influencer, so an influencer is someone who has traffic already, who has eyeballs. So if you go over to Instagram and you see they have got a bunch of followers and they're communicating with them, those are, have you ever seen Friends, the show? Yes. Friends?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you remember Rachel, how whenever she had a party, like everybody would show up and it would be super fun, and then it would pan to Ross, and then Ross, there would be nobody at his party, and he was like knocking on doors, inviting his mom to come to his party, right?
Right.
Yeah.
If we can get our products into Rachel's hands, the party throwers, the ones that already have that following, that already have a crowd, and then Rachel at a party, she's like, hey, look at this glass pitcher that I'm using, or check out my cute new shirt. All those people are going to go home and then hurry and order, right? because
Yeah,
they want
right.
to be like Rachel. They want to be around Rachel. And the beautiful thing about today is these Rachels are all over the internet. There's so many influencers out there. And those are the ones, if you get your product in front of them and you can tweak an audience or a product towards them, or you work with them and say, hey, I see that you like design. Would you like to design a shirt? Or would you like to design a mug or whatever, right?
Yeah,
And then the influencer can be like, you guys, I've been working with this company and I've designed this mug that I love so much, and you have to have it in your hands. And they're running a sale and it's for 48 hours and blah, 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 blah. Swipe up to get it. And then that's going to drive warm audience to your email list. And it's not just driving them to your email list. You're actually driving real life customers to your list. So your list is so much more valuable. And so I think that's one of the secret sauces in all of my growth and all of the students that I teach is going out there and finding those Rachels and working with them and creating this long-term relationship with them so that maybe you're selling Valentine's Day mugs and then you've got Easter and you're going to do an Easter t-shirt or an Easter bag, and then the 4th of July, and then you go through all the holidays with them and you get a couple on board. And so you can create that consistency, grow your list, not have to give any money to Mark Zuckerberg, who already has plenty, but you're giving them to influencers who started from, they're just entrepreneurs, just like us, wanting to make money. They have the audience, we have the product, and so it's like this perfect marriage.
Nice. Perfect. Wow, that is fantastic advice there. Yeah, I love it. Terry, are you a Rachel or a Ross?
I'd like to think I'm a Rachel, but I might be a Ross.
Yeah, I think I'm probably a Ross too, but I love finding Rachels. I agree. That's perfect advice. Well, speaking of advice, Allison, I've been fortunate enough throughout my career to get to talk to a lot of small businesses. And one of the things that I've seen that I would love to figure out a way to help them is they kind of get started, maybe not really with a plan, but they find that nothing really kind of sticks for them. They feel like they're spinning their wheels. And what advice would you give somebody like that?
Welcome to the club.
Okay.
You'll feel like that even when you become successful. Like, I think that's a mindset, right? Okay. In entrepreneurship, it's not from point A to point B to point C. It's like A to 2 to purple to F. Like, you're all over the place, right? But as long as you're going up. And when you feel like you're spinning wheels, the best thing that I found is if you write stuff down and then you go back and you look, you'll actually see that you're making progress. All those no's that you're getting or all that stuff that maybe didn't sell, that's just helping you redefine who you are and what you're going to do. So for instance, I had this product and I submitted it to a marketplace. And the marketplace told me, no, absolutely not. We're not going to sell that product of yours. I said, okay. So I went out and I found an influencer. I ran a promotion with her. And in 2.5 days, we sold $64,000, which to me, oh my goodness. I started out as a junior high teacher and in 2.5 days, doubled my salary.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And so when you're being told no, or when you're like hitting these walls, don't feel like it's the world saying no. It's actually the world getting you closer to where you're supposed to be. So whenever you get a no or whenever you hit a wall, just be like, oh, I'm so glad I hit that wall because that wasn't the direction that I was supposed to go. I need to be going a different direction. And so that's what has really helped me quite a bit because even yesterday, we did another promotion and we did amazing with it, but our email got stuck. And I've been sending out emails for 10 years and I had an email issue. And I'm like, okay, what do I need to do with this? How am I going to deal with it? What's the next path we're going to take? And like, you will always feel like you're hitting walls. And so once you accept that and say, yeah, I'm going to be hitting walls my entire career, but I'd rather be hitting those walls in my business than hitting walls working for someone else. Because you're always going to be hitting walls in life. That's just what life's about. So you have to decide if you're in it for you or if you just want to do it for someone else. And for me, I would rather do it for me. I'd rather have my kids do it for them. And then we can choose the entrepreneur lifestyle that we all love. and crave and can't ever go back to the 9 to 5.
Absolutely. Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. Christine Shreve it jumped in and said, great advice about how to handle no or running into a dead end. You learn from the failures as much as you do from the successes. So
Hashtag amen.
Love it. Love it. Hey, Terry, I'm going to jump in. We've got another question from one of our listeners here. Adam, it said, Allison, do you use a marketing agency at all, or are you doing all of the marketing by yourself?
All the marketing by myself, but I've trained a team. So marketing agencies, they work for themselves. And I sell my products and I sell my brand. I know and I love and I trust my brand the most, and I'm going to put my energy and effort into my products. When you're working with an agency, they're dealing with however many gajillion other clients they have. And so for me, marketing is like the fun part of this whole game. It allows you to have 6-figure days. It allows you to know what to do to keep repeating your processes. If you give it to an agency, it's like going to an amusement park and not being able to ride on any of the rides. And so I like to do it in-house. I train my team how to do it. And so I'm not personally doing it. But like when I first started, I hired my neighbors. I hired my family. And we just said, okay, this is a process. This is how we're going to go out. This is how we're going to use influencers. This is what we're going to do. And it's worked really, really well for us.
Nice. Great. Well, thank you for answering that question. That's a good one.
Well, I have a question that about the influencers. How does that arrangement work? Let's say, you design a mug and you give it to an influencer. What's the arrangement with that influencer?
So what we do is we start out with either 10% or commission. Like it's all commission based. That's what we love to do the best. Some influencers like, no, I've got a flat fee. And our favorite thing to do is we make sure they're a good, strong influencer. You're welcome, Adam. A good, strong influencer. There's a lot of influencers out there that can't sell. And so we do make sure that they can sell. And how we do that is we watch their Instagram stories. And if they're selling other people's products, then their following is used to it. If you go to an influencer that has never sold anything and that just talks about, I don't know, whatever, like shooting the breeze, but never actually sells anything, you're not going to get results with them. You want an influencer that knows how to sell. And then you work out a deal where you say, hey, I'll give you part of the proceeds. And they're like, absolutely. Like they don't have to work with customer service. They don't have to ship anything. They just get to talk about how cool the product is. And then that's where you get your win-win right there.
Nice.
They just wait for the check. Yeah.
Yeah, they do. And they deserve it. Like they worked really hard. And so it's my goal to give my influencers as much money as I possibly can. Because if I make them money, they're going to be like, Allison, what's your next product? When can I do this again? When can I do this again? And so they're constantly wanting to do it. Another idea that we've used is like $2 per order. We've even gotten to $3 per order, depending on the margins and what makes sense. But the end goal is to get those influencers the most amount of money as possible, because it really creates that 3-way triangle, right? The influencer's happy, the customer's happy, and I'm happy. And so creating that 3-way triangle, that's gold right there.
Well, I try to work with Aaron as an influencer. It hasn't paid off for me quite yet, but
you got a lot of followers on Twitter, Terry. I just don't think many of them actually read anything you say. But
well, speaking of that, Allison, so you're working with these influencers, but do you personally have a big following on social media?
Big is relative.
Okay.
Right?
Indeed.
Yeah, so
Indeed it is.
I do have a blog. We haven't even talked about this, and it's called How Does She? And it has a big following. It's got 2 million followers on Facebook. Wow. And then people are like, well, Allison, that's how you grew your businesses. Well, actually, I have business partners on How Does She? And so in the beginning, we didn't quite know how this would all work. And so I actually didn't use that at all. I had to start from ground zero, go find my own influencers, and grow my own list. And so it doesn't matter where you're at in this process. It matters that you like starting at zero is the best place to start, right? Because if you make mistakes, nobody knows. It helps you learn your voice. It helps you learn how to market better. It helps you, like, you're watching your posts, you get one like, you're like, yes, that worked, right? And it helps you develop who you are becoming. And then you take these influencers and then drive traffic. Their influence is going to be better than your influence. Now, on my personal Instagram account, I have, I don't know, like 25,000. But when I first started, I was just learning how to use Instagram. And so it was a lot of, it was a love story about my grandma and grandpa. They were married for 74 years before she passed away. And so a lot of my followers came for that. And then over the last like year, I've been switching it over to e-commerce and business stuff. And so like some of my crowd is like, wait, where's grandpa?
Yeah, hold on.
I bring grandpa and they're like, wait, who's this man? Right. So it's this adjustment of me developing who I really am supposed to be. So it's all like this journey. So it really doesn't matter where you are. It matters using those influencers to help you become who you want to be.
Nice.
Sounds like a couple of guys I know about 7 years ago starting a podcast, and who's going to listen to this?
It was a love story, Terry.
It was a love story.
So Allison, we've covered a lot of ground here, and we really appreciate all this. I don't know if our viewers have seen your shirt yet, so maybe you could back up and show everybody. Here, let me get this out of the way. Yeah, perfect. There we can see it. So it says, "Because I can clan." Oh, perfect. Here's the sign. Yeah. Tell us about that. We'd like to learn more about what that's all about. So after I had started my e-commerce businesses, and we're like, the first one I did, I honestly thought that I was a one-hit wonder. And I was like, well, I created this multi-million-dollar business. I wonder if I just got lucky. And so that's when I started another one, and that became a multi-million-dollar business. And I'm like, whoa, maybe I'm onto something. And that's when I taught my daughters. And then my sister came into the equation, and she's like, you want to teach me? I'm like, sure, let's do it. And then she ended up growing a 6-figure business super quick. And then I taught some friends how to do it. And we're actually having lunch today. And they are going to tell me that they are now a multi-million-dollar business. I kind of got in to hear the excitement, but they have exploded too. And so it was at that time that I was like, I think I've learned the process. Like, this isn't me. Like, I'm not talented. I'm a mom of 4 that runs around like a chicken with her head cut off, right? And what I found is the process to keep me consistent, the process to keep sales coming in the door when I literally cannot be consistent. Like, some days your readers are going to be like, what? Like, with 4 kids, it is a celebration to take a shower. I'll tell you. And so I had to create a system, or find that system that helped me stay consistent when I had a sick kid, or I had to go over and do stuff at the school. Like, I had to figure that out. And so once I figured that out, I started teaching other people. And I was like, hey, what? Like, people aren't going to resonate with my name. They're not going to take that on as their own. And I actually learned this from a guy named Russell Brunson, which, top of the notch guy. Love listening to Russell Brunson. He was like, Allison, you've got to create something that people can connect with. Like, they're not going to walk around and say, I'm an Allison fan. Like that, like, yeah. No offense, Allison, but they don't care about you. They care about them. And I'm so glad he told me that. And so then I started thinking, well, why can we do these businesses? Why can we create the lifestyles that we have always dreamed about, or we've heard about? And it's because we can, right? We've got the technology. We've got the information out there. I've been to 3rd world countries where they literally can't, but we can where we're at right now. Our phones are moneymakers, like absolute moneymakers. And so I decided to call us the Because I Can Clan. And when I get on a Facebook Live, I'm like, where are my clanners? And so we call ourselves clanners. Nice. And we have like a manifesto. Like, we are legit, you guys. And it's because I can change my financial future, because I can decide my own income. Anyways, they go through this manifesto and they step into this role of believing in themselves. Because how many times have we tried and we've failed?
And then we're carrying that weight. And so when we trying to go on in entrepreneurship, we're carrying that weight with us and all those no's and all those rejections. And once we have, like, I feel like we have permission to let go of it, then we start to grow. And so when you walk in as a clanner, you take on this manifesto of, I know I can do this because I can. I also have one on there is I know that I can, because I can kick fear in the teeth, and because I can accept that success doesn't happen overnight. So it's realistic in everything that we do, but it's always, okay, why can I do this? Why can I make sales? It's because I can. Because I literally can. I just have to do it. And I know that I'm going to hit walls. I know that I'm going to get told no. That's just part of the journey. And so, because I can clan.
Awesome. Wow, that is a great stuff. I'm inspired. I'm ready. Let's go do something right now, Terry. I don't know. Let's do. We should do a podcast.
Let's do, and let's be heard around the world.
Yeah. Awesome.
Well, Allison, this has been awesome. As Aaron said, I'm inspired as well. I want to join the clan.
And when you make your first $1 online, I send you a shirt. And so I've got like thousands of selfies of people all over that are wearing this because I can clan shirt. And then it's just fun to see people's success. And then I send them a $50,000 clan shirt and a $100,000 clan shirt because it is a journey to get there. So you guys, t-shirts, if you're in the t-shirt business, free t-shirts move mountains, and they make people do amazing things.
We tell people that all the time. So there's no better form of advertising than that. But so Allison, how can people find you, get involved in your community?
So I've got Alison J Prince. I have a J because of SEO. There was a bunch of Alison Princes out there, so I decided to add the J in my name. I'm on Instagram. I'm on YouTube, Facebook. And then if you want to, I have a course where I teach this step by step. That's 0-100k.com. And I tell the story more in depth about my daughters and using influencers and how you don't have to have a big social following. I dive deep into that.
Super.
Right.
That's awesome.
Well, we will get those links up on our website as well, and definitely appreciate your time today. Thank you so much. And you have an awesome Facebook Live here in just, about 20 minutes?
I do. It's to my closed group. So we actually did a promotion yesterday. And then what I do is I go onto my closed group and I break it all down for them. And I'm like, guys, this is what went right. And this is what totally went wrong. And so I still do so that I can teach. And so I take them into the insider, like show them all the back end, all the sell, like everything. It's pretty fun.
Oh, that's really cool. Very cool. All right, guys, get part of Allison's community there. You will learn even more than we got from her today. We got some great stuff. So thank you so much for joining us today, Allison.
Thank you.
All righty. Terry, I am,
wow.
Like I said, I am inspired. I am excited to get out there, and I can't wait to actually, what I always love too, Terry, is when we get these wonderful guests like this on is kind of hearing the after effect too, hearing people that did go get involved or took that piece of advice. And so we're always looking for your feedback on what you took from today's show. And it's what I love about doing this, Terry, personally. So.
Aaron, and I love when we have guests like Allison who are it's so passionate about what they're doing, and it's just it radiates from her, expressions on Facebook, and certainly to our podcast listeners, you're going to hear it in her voice as well. So fantastic show today. And I'm going to be inspired for the rest of the day. This is awesome. It's funny too, when she was talking about the mistakes, making mistakes. And when I do my screen printing classes, I always say that this class is based on nearly 40 years of me going, well, there's got to be a better way to do it than this.
Yeah, it's like our friend Jimmy Lamb always says, he's an expert because he's made every mistake there is to make. So.
there's nothing left but success.
Yeah, that's right. Awesome. Well, Terry, let's take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsor, Equipment Zone, and then we will come back with 5 things and wrap up our show today.
Very good.
If I can get this, there we go, right button.
Our show today is sponsored by Equipment Zone. Go to equipmentzone.com for the Epson F2000 direct-to-garment printer. Equipment Zone is the only Epson reseller who sends a technician to every customer location for training. This is an absolutely free visit to your location. Equipment Zone is also the manufacturer of the #1 pre-treat machine in the industry, the Speed Treater TX. With no compressor and no special tanks, the Speed Treater TX is the easiest and most consistent pre-treat machine available worldwide. Go to equipmentzone.com for the Epson F2000, the Speed Treater TX, and for all your DTG inks and supplies. That's equipmentzone.com. That's equipmentzone.com.
You know, Aaron, also along the lines of Equipment Zone, next week on Thursday and Friday, Equipment Zone is going to be having an Epson Expo at the Franklin Lakes, New Jersey location, and that's going to be basically all of Epson's large format devices. So come over and you can sign up for that. It's free. Sign up at equipmentzone.com and come over and have some lunch and get some demos. It's going to be an exciting event.
Yeah, sounds like a great time. Equipmentzone.com is where you want to check that out at. Terry, real quick, I just want to remind everybody this is the last week to enter your nomination for the Reggie Awards. So if you get over to our website, tworegularguys.com, and you'll see a big banner right at the top. Just click on that. It'll take you right to the nomination form. We've had tons of nominations already, and looking forward to getting some more throughout this week. Terry, I'll just quick rundown of the 10 categories, if that's good.
Sure.
Okay. So number 1, best new product. Number 2, best sales or customer service representative. Number 3, company that provides the best customer service. Number 4, best online educational content. Number 5, best industry educator. Number 6, best industry trade show. Number 7, this is a new category that I'm pretty excited about, best decorated item. And we asked people to actually upload a picture of that decorated product to share. So looking forward to that one. Another new category, number 8, most influential young star. So that's for the folks under 40 who are making some waves in our industry. And number 9, the best guest on the Two Regular Guys podcast. And the last but not least, the best ambassador for the industry. So good stuff. And like I said, we're already getting great nominations there, but looking for more. We've got a new candidate for the best guest. I think Allison needs to be in that picture.
she certainly did a tremendous job today. And
I haven't
by the
done
way,
my nominations yet, Terry. So I think I'm going to make that happen.
Well, and a reminder also that, you know, as Aaron said, there's lots of activity there. So but if you assume that somebody's been nominated or a company's been nominated, make sure that you nominate them as well, because if we come up with 20 nominations, we're going to take a look and see who had the most nominations.
Yep, it'll be top 5 nominated folks, and get out there if you feel like you need to be nominated. No reason not to go tell everybody to nominate. Yeah, that's certainly how a lot of people are on the list as we speak. We've got some clans and crews and things like that right could be a big part of this. So we love doing this. Our 6th year going with this awards show, and it's cool just to recognize people and it not be a panel of judges or a good old boy network or anything like that. It's all completely done by the listeners. So great stuff.
Absolutely.
Christina, sorry, I just a comment came across here. Christine said, "Come on, guys, you have to love all your guests equally," says someone who's been a guest. We do love it. It's like loving your kids. It's all right. Terry, let's cover a couple of our upcoming events here, and then we'll get into 5 things and call it a day.
Absolutely.
Okay.
What do you have coming up?
Yeah, so I've got my small business Saturdays that I do on Saturday mornings on Facebook Live. So if you go over to facebook.com/aaronmontgomery.info, or you can find it through my website, aaronmontgomery.info, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about planning for 2019. So already starting to think about that. We've got a Two Regular Guys show coming up on that topic. So I'm preparing ahead of time.
Well, look at you. Maybe I can do that on my flight, because while you're doing that show, Aaron, I'm going to be heading to, I'll be in Chicago teaching a screen printing class at Atlas Screen Supply. That's Saturday and Sunday this week. Next week, I'm going to get home Sunday night, and Tuesday morning, I'm going to leave for New Jersey, New York City area, to participate in the Epson Expo with Equipment Zone. That's on November 15th and 16th. As we mentioned before, you can find out about that at equipmentzone.com. And Aaron, I'm getting ready to fill out my 2019 schedule of events. They're all in my big book of Terry's travels, but I have to get them on my on my website and a part of the show. But
Nice.
As of next week, all my upcoming events for 2019 will be on my website, terrycombs.com, under tour dates.
Nice. Yep. Check that out. And good stuff. Show producer Eric Campbell is going to be out in Long Beach teaching some classes. So I wanted to share those with everybody so they can get signed up for those over at ISS Shows. And I even typed in their website yesterday and missed it. Didn't get enough S's in there. I think they need to buy the one with one less S and just have a link to them. But anyhow, so
Right.
Learning to digitize the 2 kinds of embroidery knowledge, and that's January 18th in Long Beach. And then he will be teaching the scientific stitcher measurement and testing again in Long Beach, January 19th. And the next day on January 20th, he will be bringing to you embroidery pricing models explained. So Eric is going to be on the circuit this year. We'll be excited to see him out and about. But Terry, I think we're ready for 5 things. Are you ready to give us this gold?
I am. 5 things that can impact your screen printing business when the weather changes. And that's either hot or cold. But speaking of the winter coming, if your shop is cold at night, this is number 1, your Plastisol ink is going to stiffen. But before you reach for a thinning product, simply stirring in a small container will thin your Plastisol inks when it's cold. If it's below freezing outside, your supplier will probably not ship emulsion to you. So make sure you stock up on emulsion before the winter months. Number 3, when the humidity rises, your garments may take longer to cure. A lot of people don't realize this. The fabric will absorb moisture and you'll need to drive it off before curing can be complete. And that's either by extending your curing time or pre-drying by running the garments down your dryer belt or under a flash unit. Number 4, in warm months and your shop temperatures start to knock on the door of 95, and all my screen printing friends out there know about this, this is going to shorten the life of your dual cure emulsion. So put it in the refrigerator to extend the life. And number 5, temperature extremes will impact your employees too. So coming into 2019, try to moderate your shop floor environment for your employees' sake. And those are my 5 things that happen when the weather changes, Aaron.
Nice. Well, that's a great list. And yeah, you had mentioned the extremes. A lot of other decorators have that too. Sublimators over at my friends at pickthegift.com. They've got 2 rotary heat presses that run about 400 degrees. So there's no heat needed in the winter months, but there's definitely cooling needed in the summer months.
There you go. Exactly.
Nice. All right, Terry. Well, upcoming trade shows here. Just get everybody's 2019 calendar built out. You've got the ASI Orlando show happening January 3rd through the 5th. You've got the PPAI Expo in Las Vegas, Nevada, happening January 13th through the 17th. Then the ISS Long Beach show, which we mentioned earlier with Eric Campbell. They're going to be teaching at that event January 18th through the 20th. A great show that one of these days I really need to check out. It's just always on top of Long Beach, so it's been difficult. But Creativation in Phoenix, Arizona there, Terry, January 19th through the 21st. That used to be the Craft and Hobby Association show and kind of evolved in Creativation. So check that out. New show for NBM this year. NBM Phoenix is happening February 1st through the 2nd. And then ASI again is having their Fort Worth event February 5th through the 6th. What we spoke about already in ThreadX powered by SGIA. Can't wait for that one. February 17th through the 19th. We got to figure out decorators in cars with cookies or decorators on planes with, I don't know, not snakes on the plane or anything like that. There's got to be something fun.
No.
Okay. And then DAX Kansas City is happening February 22nd through the 23rd. Excited to be out at that. I've got a couple of seminars that I'll be presenting, so you'll look for information from me on that coming up soon. Developing a business plan and being more customer centric equals being more profitable. So excited to present 2 new seminars this year. And then ISS Atlantic City is happening March 21st through the 23rd. And NBM Irving, Texas, happening March 28th through the 30th. So there rounds out your first quarter of 2019. So lots of opportunities to be on the road there.
Absolutely. And, I'm going to be doing a couple of seminars at the DAC shows as well as, and also at the ISS shows. So I'll make announcements on those in an upcoming show as well.
Yeah, I can't believe 2019 is this close. So we got to get on that stuff and catch up for you real quick. So see you at ThreadX is a comment there, Terry. And we are excited to see everybody out there. So that's going to be great.
Absolutely.
All right, Terry. Well, I think we've come to the close of another show. I want to thank Alison Prince so much. It was great information and tons of fantastic special sauce that you guys can start using today. And so make sure to check out her stuff over at Alison J Prince. It's ALISON jprince.com and be part of her community.
Absolutely. And we also want to thank our show producer, Eric Campbell, and you can find him at Eric with an H at the end, ericcampbell.com. And also like to thank our sponsors, SGIA, the Specialty Graphic Imaging Association, and Equipment Zone. And we very much appreciate your support.
Indeed, we definitely appreciate that. And Terry, next week, it's the big week. Reggie's 2018 Reggie nominations will be announced. The official voting will start, and the free-for-all will begin.
Awesome. Well, until then, he's Aaron Montgomery. I'm Terry Combs, and we are the two regular guys.
Thank you for listening to Two Regular Guys. Check out our website at tworegularguys.com. That's the number 2, regularguys.com. You can also interact with us over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/tworegularguys, or send us a tweet, twitter.com/tworegularguys. And we have a YouTube page. You can find all that from our website, tworegularguys.com. Thanks for tuning in, and we look forward to spending some time with you again next week.